Hey everyone, my name is Kenton Kivestu. I'm an ex-Googler, an ex-BCG consultant, and the founder of RocketBlocks, an online platform that helps candidates prepare for interviews. In today's RocketBlocks mini lesson, we're going to talk about an important tactic to help set you apart from your competition in case interviews, whether they're consulting case interviews or tech interviews. And that is bringing in relevant outside information. We're going to talk about why this helps set you apart and how to do it effectively. So let's go ahead and jump in. Okay, why is this important? Well, the first reason is that interviewers love candidates that know how to connect the dots. Why is that? Well, because in a real life scenario, when you're solving a problem, you're not going to be solving it in a vacuum. You're going to be solving it in the competitive, dynamic environment that any company operates in. And so your ability to bring in outside pieces of information, trends that are going on, and connect that to what's going on in the particular problem you were solving is going to be really important. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second reason that interviewers love to see this is that candidates that can bring in outside relevant information can actually drive deeper insight and a better problem solving process. So for example, let's illustrate this in an example. Imagine you walk into a Bain interview and the question you get is around falling profitability for airlines. And you say, that's a really interesting question. And it seems topically relevant as well, because I do know that the travel sector seems to be booming. People are still traveling a lot despite economic uncertainty. But at the same time, oil prices have spiked up dramatically because of a lot of what's going on in Ukraine and geopolitical uncertainty. And those prices are likely having a really big impact on the cost of gasoline for airlines. So let's think about our structure and put it all together, but it may inform where I want to dig in first because I know there's probably a lot of movement on a big cost driver. Okay, so in that example, you see how that outside relevant information comes in. It shows that the candidate is connecting the dots. And two, it helps them hone in their problem solving approach immediately. It doesn't mean that the answer is definitely going to be that the cost of gasoline has gone up, but it's a very credible hypothesis based off real world information that they're bringing in. Even if it's not the solution to that case, it's going to register in the interviewer's mind that that candidate is really smart and they're thinking on their toes. So how do you actually surface information in interviews? There's two parts to this. And the first is actually quite easy. How do you actually bring it up? Well, the mental model to use is as you are hearing a case prompt or as you're going through a case, you learn a piece of information, etc. If it sets off a little alarm bell in your head of like, hey, that's like this thing I read the other day, or that's like this trend I've been noticing that's going on. That is the point to mention that and bring that into the conversation to show that you're connecting the dots and see what additional insights that helps drive for you. So that's the first part. That's the easy part of just how to actually surface it. Now, the second part is how do you actually build this base of knowledge so that you've got good, relevant insights to share in your interviews. It's not always going to work that no matter in any single case or exercise you're going through that you're going to have something. But if you start doing this over time, the likelihood that you have additional good, relevant information you can bring in is going to go up. And the way you do this is high level. You become a student of the news. So build into your daily habits, at least 15 minutes a day, scanning some of the major publications and making note of what are the key headlines and stories that are going on a daily basis. I like to just throw that into a long running Google Doc and then set aside a little time weekly to go come and look through the past week and synthesize and see what are the trends, what are the connections that are building up over time. If you build that into your habit and are doing this daily, as the weeks go on, you'll start to notice that you have a really good sense of, hey, what's happening in the news? What are the trends that are developing and how does that connect? Now, if you're applying for consulting roles, there's a couple, key business publications that are good to keep track of. The Economist, Wall Street Journal, Financial Times are great for that. If you're applying for tech roles like product management, product marketing, strategy, and biz ops, reading the tech section of the Wall Street Journal could be good. Reading some of the specialty publications that are out there in the tech world, like Ben Thompson's Stratechery newsletter would be really good. The other thing that works really well in tech is curating a good Twitter feed of folks that are in the tech community and talking about key developments as they happen. This is tech CEOs, venture capitalists, product managers, etc. on Twitter. A lot of that community is there. So spending time curating that feed for you can be a good thing to do. So if you do that, you're going to build up your base, and it's going to give you that knowledge to start pulling into interviews and really help you set yourself apart. One final thing I want to point out about bringing in extra relevant information is it helps make the interview feel more conversational, like just a problem-solving exercise that two people are working through just like they might on the job. And anytime you can take that interview context and shift it away from a mechanical sort of rote problem-solving exercise and something that's more conversational, that's going to work in your favor. So thanks for watching. We have a ton of great content coming out on our channel on a weekly basis. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. There is a big red button below. And thanks for watching. And if you've got interviews coming up, check us out at www.rocketblocks.me. We'd love to help you get ready for your interviews. Thank you.